I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person, that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 3-on-3 podcast. That's right. You're tuned into the number one basketball podcast in the universe. I'm joined with my friends, my compadres, my amigo. We got my boy Ev here. Got my boy Lou with me. And as always, we do have the pod Mamba who's in the background making us be that number one basketball podcast universe. We have a great show in store for you guys today. The trade deadline is over. Whew, we're done. And we're going to talk about it. I'll tell you who we're not going to talk about, and that's Ja and Giannis. But we'll talk about everybody else because we will. So we'll be talking about teams who are in the playoff hunt, the playoff edition, see what they did. We'll be talking about those who are kind of in purgatory, who did something but really didn't do something at the same time. And then we have those teams who are playing for the future, not the here and now, but they're playing for the future. But let's start off with the playoff edition. These are the teams we'll be discussing that made moves to further their chances in the playoff hunt in the pursuit of the Larry O'Brien trophy. Ev, I'll start off with you, sir. Which playoff team do you think made a good move, or what move are you surprised that a playoff team made?
So I don't know if it's going to be a good move or a bad move, but when you look at this trade deadline and as active as it was, I think the biggest and maybe most surprising name that moved was James Harden moving to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That is correct.
You got the Beard having call it a bounce back season, playing at a near all-star level. He's been playing kind of that level last year as well, but looking even better this year. Yeah, the Clippers that were on a 17-4 run that looked like they were transitioning back into the mix, but decided that nope, this run is over. We don't think we're going to compete. We're not going to pay you your money, James. We give you permission to look for other opportunities. And I'm surprised that Cleveland jumped at it, to be honest with you. So the trade, James Harden for Darius Garland, a name that we've talked about here probably at least 3 or 4 times this season alone
Right.
is. And listen, if he's not going to get right, they need to do something to shape up their identity. And so Cleveland jumped at it at an opportunity to bring in James Harden. And you look at it and you gotta ask yourself, okay, we've seen James Harden flame out in how many playoffs now? I mean, I'm just
All
saying,
the
last
playoffs?
season against Denver, right, all the playoffs. That's
All the
the
playoffs
right
he's
answer,
been
right?
in.
Right. So it's almost like a double. Can a double negative make a positive, right?
Mm,
You're bringing in a player who ultimately has flamed out in multiple playoffs, albeit playing well and is available. He plays games. I give him that, right? Bringing him to a team that has flamed out in multiple playoffs, hasn't performed their expectations once they've gotten to the playoffs. So it'll be fascinating to see, putting these two together, will they actually solve each other's woes, or will they be in misery together going forward? So interesting trade from my lens to bring James Harden into this mix. By all accounts, Donovan Mitchell was cool with it. They talked about it beforehand. This conversation that went back a little while ago, so it wasn't sprung on D Mitchell. And if D Mitchell's on board with it, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. But to me, yeah, I think that's maybe the biggest domino move as it relates to the playoff picture this season.
It's funny you say that because Mitchell is going on record talking about, wanting to bring a championship to Cleveland. And selfishly, I'm going to find an opportunity to bring up Coco Jones. You said he's going to bring a championship before you proposes to her, and bring in James Harden. He talked about, James Harden and what he's done and what he brings with his resume, with his career to Cleveland, and how that piece may fit along with the other, veteran pieces with Schroeder coming on, and what that means they could potentially win a championship. But I am skeptical. You know what I mean? I don't believe that Harden coming in is going to solve their problems. I'm not sure that I believe that he will bring what it is that his game needs in terms of when he's at his best, if Cleveland's system is set up for that. I mean, because how long can Harden have the ball and not, spread that out with Donovan Mitchell, right? What's going to be the game plan? What's going to be the coaching scheme for these two guys to be effective at their best with how their games are, and can they coexist in making that happen? So yeah, I'm not a believer, and I think, in true homie fashion, Mitchell might be trying to use this as an opportunity to delay his potential marriage, because I don't see them winning the chip adding Harden as that piece.
My goodness, man. My goodness, man.
You know what I mean?
Delaying his marriage.
Look, if you waiting on Harden to be the piece for you to win a championship so you can propose to Coco Jones, there's some questions I have for you, sir. Because, hey, bro, the roster, they have a solid roster. I mean, we've talked about this team and what they could have achieved, and they've fallen short over the last 2 years. But Garland for Harden, I don't know if that's the answer.
I'll say this. I, just like Ev, was not thinking that Harden was going to move. And if he was going to move, I didn't think he was going to move to Cleveland. Now, Donovan Mitchell is a player that I root for. I want to see him succeed in the playoffs, just because he's a baller. He shows up, he puts up numbers. It's always been the case that, unfortunately, he doesn't always have the firepower to back him, right? We saw that with many years in Utah. He didn't have any help. Rudy wasn't going to put points on the board, right? He didn't have much help there. And then we saw the meltdown that happened with the Cavs, right? When they faced the Knicks and so forth with Indiana, with Indiana last season. So I don't want to see him, fail. I want to see him win, because he shows up. So I want him to have a player. And like Ev said, I guess I'm on the hopeful side, given that this is quote unquote Harden's redeem. He's getting back to his form. I hope playoff Harden doesn't sneak in. And I hope that Donovan continuing to ball will maybe inspire Harden to kind of get his. But if we're honest, every team that Harden has gone to, there's always been an adjustment period, and it hasn't been a short one, right? If you remember Brooklyn, how long that took him to get going, even the Clippers too, right? That's my concern. Is this a situation where we're actually going to see them be a lot better next season versus right now? And is next season too late for the Cleveland Cavaliers? I don't know.
And so two parts of that is, one, if he's going there, you're assuming they're going to pay him what the Clippers weren't going to pay him, even if it's one more
He's
year,
trying to get some
more years.
money.
Right. I mean, he wants. It might not be a max, but he wants at least another year. He wants that Jimmy Butler treatment. And the thing that you said, like you said, we're being hopeful, but it's almost like you feel inevitable. There's going to be a Game 7 in their future when Donovan Mitchell is doing everything he can and James Harden is nowhere to be found next to him.
I think the Cavs are just opening up space and hoping they bring LeBron in next year. I think that's their whole plan.
I thought that was the plan.
Wait. I better give me credit. You think that was Hans's plan when he said LeBron needs to go back to Cleveland?
It's just materializing now. It's the last couple of days, it's starting to become more and more kind of a thing that they're trying to do.
Listen, man, this is why we're the number one basketball podcast in the universe. We see it coming, man, before it happens. I love it. But hey, that's not outside the realm of possibility. If you guys are quote unquote trying to get Giannis, there's no room for LeBron. Go to Cleveland. Let the Lakers get Giannis. I'd love to see that. All right. Cool, cool. All right, let's move on to another team. Lou, who are you eyeing on these teams who are pushing for a playoff race?
Before you say it, Lou, I just want to say nobody wants to see what you just said, Hans.
Oh, it was sarcasm.
I
Sarcasm.
know. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure the listeners
I want to
understood
see
our
it
silence there.
personally.
Understood.
I would love to see him go back to Cleveland and continue.
And
Not
as of right now, the Lakers have the most cap space, so I'm just throwing that out there. We could just absorb Giannis's
Absorb,
contract.
huh?
Save,
course.
save. Get control, Lou. Get control.
so absorb his contract, bro, and then still be mediocre. But talking about teams, you know, the Celtics, man, I got to give it to them, man. Their front office strategically and consistently always gets pieces that they need. It's like something in the New England area. It reminds me of Belichick with the Patriots. It's just like consistently, I'm like, I get the pieces that I need to get me to where I need to go. And they off our back, off the Bulls back, man, picked up Vooch. And I think the Vooch piece that they just picked up is reminiscent to what they did with Porzingis, how Porzingis opened up the game for them, but with better availability. You know what I mean?
Better.
They don't need Vooch for his defensive efforts. They don't need Vooch even for his rebounding efforts. You know what I mean? They want you to go and be able to help stretch out the floor in a way that's going to be able to help them be able to capitalize on the game, especially with JB having the season of a lifetime right now. And you're bolstering yourself up in the event that Tatum doesn't come back. You have the momentum already. Does Tatum need to come back? Tatum has already been noted to have conversations about where he's talking about, do I come back or not? Am I going to mess up the chemistry? And so on and so forth. And, JB's on record telling him like, hey, you do what's best for you, because obviously it's not just a physical thing. It's also a mental thing, as we've seen with other players. And I can tell you from experience with D Rose, how that mental aspect of coming from major injury plays a role. We'll see if Tatum has the true Mamba mentality that he always types to chirp on. But in terms of the Celtics picking up Vooch, it was a major piece, I think, that continues to put them solidify themselves as they're looking to make themselves ready for a long playoff run. We see how Detroit has been balling. They've been playing great defense and putting themselves as clearly the best team in the East right now. But when we talk about
Too soon for Ev, man. Too soon for Ev, man. He just witnessed something, man.
All I know is that Celtics are position themselves for the back end of the season, man. They don't want to be in a position where they're making an exit too soon from whatever team, whether that team is from New York or not. I'm just saying, they want to make sure that they're being able to match up with any team in the West, and that Vooch definitely puts them in a position to do that. Without question. Without question.
Go ahead, Ev.
What I give the Celtics credit for, and I give Cleveland credit for it as well, is they made moves that put them in a little bit better position for this season, while also financially getting them under the tax aprons. So their ability to do both, right, to get a little bit better while saving money. And I will also say that this Celtics move, I understand all the talk back and forth in the last week about is Tatum coming back or not, the second guessing and whatnot. In moving out Anthony Simons, a guard that was in your rotation, I mean, it was from perimeter standpoint, it was Simons, Brown, Pritchard, and White, right? Most of the games. You move out a perimeter player to bring in Vucevic, probably 3 years past his prime, but still can give you something. You're bringing in some additional post presence while freeing up some perimeter play. That sounds like you've got some perimeter play coming back that can fill that void that you shipped out. That's just my opinion.
It's just kind of like swapping out what they did again. Porzingis, Horford. You're just finding another version of a guy that can continue to help stretch the floor out like that for you.
Come and give that spacing for 20 minutes again.
It was above 6'9", so yeah.
I mean, that's facts, though. That's facts. But Lou hit the nail on the head, though. Availability. and that's what Vooch is gonna be for them. Remember how formidable they looked when Kristaps was on there hitting threes, getting rebounds. They looked unstoppable, right? They looked like a force to be reckoned with. So I don't know. I hate to say it and sound like a bitter fan or whatever, but it's like the rich keep getting richer, man. Like how do they get these pieces so perfectly, man? Like what wheels are they greasing? What palms are they greasing? You know, who are they paying? What is happening, bro?
Back of the envelope conversations.
Yeah,
Why do the
man.
leagues help the Celtics out so much, but yet there's a Laker tax? The teams,
Okay,
the teams,
let's move on.
these
because We know who the
teams
real
that
big
are- the
person.
teams around the NBA should all have disdain for these organizations that have won in the past, like the Lakers.
You know who has disdain?
Like the
Like, people
Celtics.
have disdain for the Lakers. All right,
Yeah, but why
Nobody
don't the
wants-
Celtics have the same disdain? I don't
because they don't have
understand.
the same powerful circumstance that the Lakers do. All right, and the Lakers fans do stuff like you doing now. That's why.
Celtics just get whatever the fuck they want, whenever they want. They just, give up, whatever. They give
You
two
just tell-
second-round picks
Why you
for
say
an
this kid
all-star.
ain't get the gift? You hating on the other gifts that other kids got for Christmas, man. Come on.
Yeah, you didn't do that.
I mean, there's
When I saw
we'll
when I
get
see a
into
homie
that.
get like an Xbox,
In
I wanted that shit too.
in 5 years, in 5 years, just hear me out. Whether you like these players or not, in a 5-year span, the Lakers got both LeBron James and Luka Doncic,
And AD.
and not having to give up much of anything. Sorry, AD, but what are we talking
There's
about?
levels to this though, because every single player that the Lakers are rumored attached to, it's always, they're expecting a first-round pick in return, or they say two second-round picks. Herb Jones they were asking for two first-round picks from Herb Jones, and the Celtics just have to give up second-round picks for Vucevic.
Well, okay, let me derail. Let
That's
me
his
derail a
prime,
little bit. Why, since we're here, can we just give Pop Mamba the floor real quick? Since he's adamant on talking about the
No.
Lakers.
I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, man. Well,
I'll wait until
I
that
mean,
comes.
your time finally came, man.
I'm about to say, we're going to open the floor for your gripes.
I just have a gripe with the Celtics and how teams have been so privy to just help them out.
Listen, man, some teams have to work to get it, and some teams just get it handed to them. All right, that's why y'all get a tax, cause y'all get stuff for free. Everybody else has to work to get what they want. All right.
I feel like it's just like the tax in real life. You know how the rich get taxed higher because they make more money,
Right,
like they have more.
right.
That's what you have. You got taxed because you have more. That's
Right.
what it
The
is.
And
Celtics
not
are
just-
old money, so they get to do whatever the fuck they want. And
Listen, man, this
Just
is a
like in
common
America.
with
This is
all
America.
Los Angeles.
Are we
Okay?
still talking basketball?
Yeah. All right, fellas,
play
let's
the
get back on
Succession
track.
music.
Right. We're not serious people. Let's get back on track. Yeah. All right. With the couple minutes we have left, I do want to talk about this trade. I'll talk about it real quick. It was a good one for me. The Minnesota Timberwolves getting AO from the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls are going to be a common theme in this show.
Yeah. Your
Not for the right.
handprints are all over the
Y'all are
street.
great gift givers. Keep on.
Listen, you
The
guys
Bulls
are
invite you to a party, man. You show up, you leaving with gift bags.
Evan, let's get to Hanja's point so I can,
Sorry.
cry.
You guys
Sorry.
are very, very charitable. But yeah, so I like that move for the Minnesota Timberwolves, especially since they're a team that we discussed that really just needed a little extra to get over the hump, especially when you talk about going into deep playoff runs where Ant may have to shoulder too much of the load as far as putting points on the board. You get somebody like AO who can score, but also helps defensively as well. I thought it was a great addition. And then they let Conley go and got him back. So that was a little, loophole. And I like it.
I traded for that to be able to happen.
Right.
Because he was joined with Melskis. Yeah, so he had to get, I think the second trade had to happen for him to be able to come
And correct me if I'm wrong. This is not the first time he's done that.
Memphis is the first time he did that.
Memphis. Didn't he do it with Memphis as well too? Got traded and then came back. Like he's,
And he was hurt that time. Yep, and he came back. Yep, right to Memphis.
he's done this before. But I like this from Minnesota, even though they're up and down right now for some reason. I do like this. I think it'll help them out when it comes playoff time, and they'll be able to be competitive when it comes to moving past the second round to quarterfinals and finals. So, conference finals. Let me just put that out there. So, yeah, that's my take. I like that. But I know we have some other teams that we want to discuss. I'll start off with you again, Ev. Who's another team you want to put out there?
Hey, listen, a lot of teams made moves. I'm a big fan on hometown reunions and whatnot. Get down, coming home music, things of that nature.
Here we go. Here we go.
When you have a fit that fits, man, you gotta love it. And us being able to fleece Grand Theft Alvarado from the New Orleans Pelicans, a player who just the grittiness, the effort, the tenacity. He's built for the city. Not only is he built for the city, he was built by the city, right? Hometown kid. He's gonna come in, crowd's gonna go crazy when he makes those hustle plays. Fits in with that Josh Hart mold, and we need him because Deuce McBride may be out to the playoffs with an abdominal injury. He's having surgery, so we needed to solidify that backcourt, for the moments when Brunson's out of the game. So my minor move, but I just like it from a chemistry fit standpoint. Somebody that's gonna keep the fire on our unit, because we've been playing great. Before tonight we had won 8 straight games. Before the game against Detroit, we had won 8 straight games, and we were doing it by keeping the intensity up for all 48 minutes. You bring in a guy like that, he's going to make sure the intensity's up at all times. We need that with the Knicks. So minor move, but I think it's a minor move that's going to definitely be a positive.
But I like that you bring it up, because I think the game versus Detroit is a perfect example of how you can use him, right? And the intensity that he could bring in, and maybe now. Granted, I know you were down Cat, you were down OG, right? So
we had everybody that had any potential injury, because you don't want to go into a game with the Pistons with injured players, because that's what they want to do, is beat up on your players. So let's not give it to them.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I think tonight's an example of where you'll need him, that he'll match their intensity and what they'll bring. Because if we're honest, you're probably going to face Detroit, right, in the playoffs. So to me, it shows that this was a good trade. No, I like it for you. I think Christian said it best. The New York Knicks just got more annoying. So we'll see.
Oh man. Oh, that's perfect. Absolutely. That's perfect.
We'll see how it
I'm a lot of definitely one of them mad players.
We're a rare breed. We're a rare breed in the Brothers. Okay, rare breed of people.
I got it. All right, Lou, who you got next?
I won't harp on them too long, but the team that was dubbed the AAU team of the NBA clearly has made the move to shape up. And the moves they busted over this trade deadline. I won't harp on all the nitty gritty of it, but one of the big pieces that they have acquired from our squad in terms of Kobe White to be along Lonzo Ball, and automatically now you have, 2 premier guards at this juncture, and then also a rookie who is promising in Knuppel. So you have somebody that can play along LaMelo, that he can play off ball, and then Kobe White can play on or off ball. So you have a guard that not only can bring up the ball, but also is a threat from the perimeter, which is a big thing for Charlotte. And now you're guarding both. And mind you, Kobe White not no small guy either, man. You have another taller guard in along LaMelo. See, I have Lonzo Lonzo hangover. But LaMelo, and being 6'7", and having Kobe in 6'5", I know there's been a little bit of a wrinkle in the trade with the situation. Instead of getting the 3 picks, we have 2, because after the evaluation, his calf strain seems a little bit more intense than probably what was originally discussed. But yeah, Charlotte has come up heavily right now, and we've seen them start to put a stretch of some games together where they've started to look formidable. So we're gonna have to, over the next couple years, as they continue with the progression with this roster, they look promising. And we're gonna have to start taking them a little bit more seriously. But Charlotte is the team that they're one of the dark horses in this trade that coming into the trade deadline have made some good moves for themselves.
Two things I'll say. One, make sure y'all file your taxes this year and claim all these deductions for this charitable giving y'all are doing. In Chicago.
Clearly, we're now Goodwill Bulls.
Listen,
love that.
and and you talk about Charlotte's rise. So they've jumped from 12th to 10th in the play-in as of today. I anticipate them to continue rising because, as you said, they've been on fire. They've looked incredible. They're starting to line up with their five of LaMelo, Knipple, Bridges, Miller. They're 14-1, right? So they found something. Great young coach with it as well. You bring in, like you said, Kobe White once he gets healthy. Whether it's bench. He's more than a six man, right? He's like
I think he's automatic stuff. And he's going to be the guy that's going to run the second unit.
Right,
sure.
right. So I'm
from
with you on the Charlotte. Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that Charlotte pick.
Got you. All right, guys. To finish off the last couple seconds, we ran over on this segment. Pod Mamba, arguably the biggest trade actually happened.
What is the name is called a what trade? Blockbuster.
It's a blockbuster trade. Pod Mamba, you want to talk about the blockbuster trade that happened, man?
Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch. Osama bin Vincent off my team.
Wow. It went from the terrorists of Darwin scam to now terrorist.
We had JJ Redick calling pin down screens for Gabe Vincent to jack up bricks.
That's JJ Redick's fault.
And now we traded him for a man who's leading the league in 3-point percentage. I mean, that's not really saying much because the Lakers also traded for Malik Beasley when he was hitting like 42% threes, and he came to the Lakers and shot like 22%. So I guess we'll see what happens. But this is a nice step in the direction of just not having Gabe Vincent on the Lakers anymore.
Addition by subtraction.
Okay, so that was just the goal, right? Okay,
that's it.
Shout out to the win for you.
I love it.
Before we go out,
sorry, Heaven. I think the Lakers. I think Laker fans expected too much from Rob Pelinka. They always fucking do, but that's a whole different discussion. And I think this trade deadline was okay. I don't really need Rob to be doing superstar trades like Luka every single year. Like, that's not realistic. You look at every team in the NBA, like not every GM makes trades like that. It's not consistent. So Lakers standing pat, they have a plan. They want to shed as much salary in the offseason to see what they can do with the 3 first-round picks that they'll have. And I see the vision. So I guess we'll find out and see what the Lakers have planned moving forward. But that's what this trade with Luke Kennard and Mabute, which I call him. He's not on the books next year, so it's kind of a sidestep, really. It's not really, or I guess it's kind of an upgrade because of his 3-point percentage, but he also doesn't play defense. So, I think the Lakers just are going to plan to outshoot everyone and just hope for the best.
Oh yeah, old D'Antoni type of tactic.
I think so because they're getting connected to Cam Thomas now, and all he could do is just score. So I guess that's the plan, is just to score as much as possible.
You guys are gonna sign him because he got waived, so you guys are just like sign him off free agency.
Right, it'll be a waiver. Yeah,
couple dollars, pay his rent. Rent's high in LA. Glass half empty. Take Luke Kennard. Don't want to be too reckless with my words here, but he gets passed around a lot. That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
We don't worry about passed around people. Pass,
Hey yo, Come on, man. First of all,
Everybody has a pass. That's what
Everyone has a
Christian
pass.
said.
You know what was
Okay.
that saying you said before we hopped on, Evan?
Oh,
Something about
hey.
handshakes. I don't know.
You go.
all I know
Hey.
is that if we want to talk about that, man, Schroeder has to be number one on that.
Shooter's number
that's
2.
right.
Ariza's number
That's
1.
right.
He was passed around 11
Ariza.
times.
We're talking about
right.
who's currently in the league, man. Leave my man Trevor alone.
Listen, these players that we just named, they have game rooms in their houses with a lot of jerseys in them, and they're all theirs, all their own.
All their
All
own.
their own, yes.
All right, guys, let's move on, fellas. We're definitely over. Let's move on to our second segment. This segment is called the Purgatory. This is for teams who made a move, but at the same time didn't make a move, if that makes sense. So, Ev, if you're ready to go, sir, with the couple minutes we have left, which team do you want to talk about that qualifies for this Purgatory title?
So I'm gonna go by pushing back on a team that everybody thinks should be here, and that's the New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans Pelicans, I think 13 wins on the year, although I think they did just beat Minnesota, so maybe they're up to 14 on the year. That was rumored in tons of trades for Trey Murphy, in trades for Jones. In does Zion have any value to be traded? And then they come out and their front office says, we're not trading anybody. We think we have a playoff capable roster. And my esteemed co-host went crazy in the chat when they heard that. They said this is the definition of insanity and it's delusional. And I'm here to say I disagree with y'all, and I kind of agree with the front office saying this. And here's why. They didn't say they had a playoff ready team this year. They said they had a playoff ready team someday. All right. So let's start there.
Wow.
Hey,
politics, man. You've been hanging around Christian too long, man.
You've been on the hill too long, man. You've been out there, that DC talk rubbing off on it.
Y'all took what he said too literally. But hear me out here. If half the league is calling about one of your players, Trey Murphy, who by the way, I think had 10 threes in the game, 44 points, his third time having a 10 3-pointer game. If half the league is calling about one player, if a fourth of the league is calling about another player in Jones, if you have 2 solid draft picks in Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears, I'm of the mindset that you have talent on your roster. Now, yes, I left out Zion Williamson because Zion Williamson, he's getting past the French word for potential. All right, he's getting past that now. All right, but if you orient your team right, I think they have a roster that can compete. What I heard in that comment was we have a roster that can compete, but we don't have a coaching staff that can compete. We know they fired Willie Green at the beginning of the season, and James Borrego has been holding the ship since then. I think what the front office is saying is, hey, we got to find the right coaching staff to make these players work. Because the league thinks they have talent, because the league is coming for their players. And so that's why I'm of the mindset that their roster with the right coaching could be playoff ready.
Oh, man. If that's the case, Sacramento has a roster that's playoff ready.
I ain't say that.
Because the league's coming after their players too. They're just not letting them go.
No, the league did not want Sacramento's players. Sabonis is the only one.
They want Sabonis.
That's it. I've never seen a player pick up their player option in January. Okay. Zach Levine let the league know. Oh, don't worry, I'm getting paid next year. Don't worry, Sacramento. Let me go ahead and sign up for that now before y'all figure out a way to change y'all's mind.
To change it out.
Right. If I would have told you, and we won't stay on the Kings long, but if I would have told you in 2014 that a team with a starting line of a Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Sabonis couldn't win 13 games, you'd be like, "Oh, that's crazy. Way too much talent." I have no idea what's going on in Sacramento. Neither do they.
Yeah.
They're a
This
level
is
below
about
purgatory.
yeah. But this is about the purgatory of the Pelicans. Yeah, I see and hear your defense, but I just find it hard when I've yet to see the fruits of said defense. And I'll say this, and then I'll let Lou talk, or we can move on to Lou's pick. We've talked previously about teams that need to make a move because they're standing still, right? And we've talked about in the last segment examples of teams who've done that, i.e., the Cavs, right? Good or bad, they've made a move. They've made a significant move, and we will surely see, right, in the upcoming months, we will surely see whether this was the right move or not. And I'm sorry, but they're gonna need to make a move with Zion. That's the move. The Pelicans, until they make that move, I don't think we're going to see the fruits of that. And I hate to, you know, put so much weight on him, but the fact of the matter is, although they do have some good players, I'm not doubting that.
That wasn't nice. That wasn't nice. Put too
They
much
have
weight
some.
on him.
I know. You see what I did there? Pun. Um, although they have good players, they don't have that player that they could build around in spite of Zion. Does that make sense? They don't have that. So that's why I think they're a classic example of purgatory. Yeah, you have these great players, but you still have this one dude that's the problem. He doesn't
Mhm.
fit. He's not consistent. He's not available. That's the move you need to make so you can see the full potential of all these other great players you have. Because what's his name? Didn't he just drop 44? Was it 44?
Trey
That,
Murphy,
yeah, that
44, 10
44,
threes.
right? That he
I
just
think it's
dropped. You're
12.
wasting that, Ev. You gotta move Zion. You gotta move Zion, bro. But that's my take on it. That's my take on it. Lou, anything else on the Pelicans before we move on to your pick?
Nah, man, exactly what you mentioned, man. You have to commit. Look, they're committing to the delusion, so I gotta respect that they're committing to something. But so it's either you
They're
commit to
committing to the insanity, Lou.
they're committing to. I respect the committing because it's either you commit to it fully or you blow it up fully. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So at this point, they're
I love that.
moving their way out of purgatory, and they're gonna know they're either good or you know what I mean, the dumpster fire. And again, like I said, I respect the committing to be terrible.
You know what? If they've been anything, they've been consistent. Let's leave it at that.
You
If
give it,
they've been
yeah,
anything, they've been
respect,
consistent. All right,
respect.
Lou. What squad you got in purgatory?
Oh, come on, man. We we're not,
I
we're not a
know
serious
this is a hard
organization.
topic for you, brother. Go ahead, man.
We're not a serious organization. I'm not gonna rehash my tears. Uh, I piggybacking off what I was just talking about and committing. As we started to let it fly, I'm like, okay, cool. We're committing to the rebuild, blow it up, but it's been lackluster in terms of the return and what we've been putting out. I know you both, all of you have been saying how generous we are, but clearly I need to understand what's going on with our front office. Our VP of President Operations, he decided, okay, cool, something needs to move, so it's not working. I agree with you, but then to say, hey, Matas and Josh, right, are the two people that we're gonna build around. Wow, that what a commitment to commit to building around Giddy and Bazilis, and to then move all these other pieces just for second round picks. I don't know, especially when we have two drafts where we're looking to have like a solid draft of players coming in that could be generational talents, and then even furthermore, we at this point commit to just losing and let's start all over. Let's just start all over because the myriad of second round picks is not something you're going to necessarily have a return on for real. I'm curious to see. I moved on from the trade deadline and see what we will do in the offseason because the way that our roster is currently constructed, we did recently pick up, what I mean, uh, uh Yabusule from
From the
Phoenix.
Knicks. Was it from Phoenix or the Knicks?
Well,
From
Phoenix,
the Knicks. We
He
Yeah,
moved
from
around
the
people
Knicks.
because he was
Yeah,
supposed
picks
to
got
go
moved
to
around.
the Bucks, and then anyway, but yes, we picked him up, and finally we have a player that's 6'11". You know what I mean? But we I don't know if we were trying to copy
I
what
don't think he's 6'11", Lou, but
I think he is. I think he's listed
Nah,
as
he's
6'7".
he's like 6'7" this way, and then you get a few more inches this way. But
Again, we live in a day and age where you can list yourself as a guard when you're a free. We don't know the truth, man. So all I know is that I don't know if we tried to take a page out of San Antonio's book and pick up 1,000 guards,
it's a
but now,
guard-driven league, man.
yeah, guard-driven league, but we don't have any notable guards. Colin Sexton was a great name when he came into the league, subpar. I mean, like Anthony
Leonard
Simon.
Miller is 6'11", 6'10".
Yeah,
There
Don't
you
know if
go.
that means anything to you.
yeah, we should. I'm pretty sure. What is he listed at? I'm pretty sure he's listed at 6'11". But I mean, and he had a decent game last night. You know what I mean, against Toronto.
Don't let those 11 rebounds last night fool you, okay?
I mean, I'm on the 13 points, but
Yeah, Yabusele is listed at 6'7", but go ahead. Yeah,
Yabusele is listed at 6'7".
Nick
man.
Richards is 6'10", though. You're
That's
there,
what I'm
right?
thinking about.
6'11", 6'11".
Yeah,
That's what
Nick
you
Richards.
got from Phoenix, Nick Richards.
That's what we picked up
Nick
from Phoenix.
Richards.
Yabusele, we did pick up from y'all. Nick Richards. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I mean, from Kingston. But yeah, so we picked him up. Yeah, so we have a 6'11" guy. Great. But again, he's also another journeyman who's really just bounced around and is not really notable. So we'll see. But yeah, no, we are grading, and I've seen some of the trades that the experts, quote unquote, have graded as some A's. Nah, we lost so many building blocks in this trade, and I don't see where we are going to replace him. Losing Kobe, losing AO, Vooch is on his way out and so on. But over the last 5 years, if you were to list all the players that came and that they're gone now, and what our return on investment is, it is actually deplorable. LaMelo, DeRozan, Alex Caruso, DJJ, Kobe, AO, and Vooch, and the list goes on. So I really hope that, and honestly, our VP of basketball, he needs to take a look in the mirror. And he needs to have a conversation with our GM. I'm not even sure our coach is the right answer right now. We need a full-blown shakeup, and we need to figure it out. This season, we might as well pack it up.
Lou said, throw the team away.
Yo, mama.
Start all over. Keep the logo. Start everything all over.
That's it.
Keep the name and the logo. Start everything all over again. Reboot.
Word. Yeah, lucky they're not getting ran out of Chicago right now, man. We have I cannot believe we've usurped Charlotte as now the AAU team of basketball in the NBA right now. Like, this is actually deplorable.
Yeah, man. It's
I mean, based on this.
Okay. I'll say this real quick. I understood the logic behind it. The execution is what I question, right? The logic of amassing picks, and picks, quote unquote, have value that you could get a return on. The trouble is you didn't amass valuable picks. You amass second round picks. And then while amassing said picks, you didn't construct a roster that you could put on the court
at all
to do something, to have a product. So yeah, right. And that's it. And then random stuff like McClung. What? Why? Huh?
Why'd you do that? I didn't bring him up on purpose.
Huh?
We hate ourselves. We clearly hate ourselves. It's like we talk about how, like, yo, you're not having a true one, a true two. We have a team of 4 A's at best. 4s. Maybe high 3s, maybe. No, I'm sorry, mid 3s at best. Remember, but we don't have number 1 or number 2.
Remember, Manu Ginobili and Nikola Jokic were second round draft picks. So
yeah, man. Yeah.
You
just gotta hit on all of that.
You can't harness diamonds unless you dig for them.
You talk about 2 players at least a decade apart. So I have to wait for the next 10 years. Thanks, F.
Got it.
You got enough shots at the well.
There you go. All right, fellas. It's enough torture for Luke, man. We've seen enough tears, man. Let's move on to our last segment of the show. Lou, stick with us, Lou. Stick with us, man.
Nah, man, I'm in pain, bro. Stick
with us, brother. Oh man. All right. So this segment is basically dedicated to teams that are making moves for the future, not for the present. They're focused on the future and not on the here and now. Ev, who you got, man? We know who you talking about, man. I know you. Well, I'll set this up. Ev, do you want to tell us about this new 1-2 punch that you're excited to be watching in person very soon?
I
Go
can't
ahead,
stand
Ev. Go ahead, man. Your turn to cry, man. Your turn to cry. Go ahead.
You know, somebody told me one time, if you're gonna do a podcast, you should be personable, right? Bring your life into it. So I try to bring my life into this podcast. So recently moved to the DMV area. First time ever living within an hour of an NBA team. Excited, excited to play the part of, hey, I have a team that's local that I can root for, that I can grow with, etc. That's me with the Washington Wizards. Now that itself sounds like a painful exercise, but I said I'm gonna undertake it. I'm a root for the Wizards.
cheating on your team.
Listen, I'm just saying. I'm gonna go for it. The Wizards have amassed not one but two players that I loathe rooting for. And it's almost impressive how it's happened. Now, as a Knicks fan, my disdain for Trey Young doesn't need
Oh
much
yeah.
explanation.
Bowing
Okay,
in the garden.
Ice
listen,
tray, ice tray.
it does. That goes to speak without itself. But if you've listened to this pod for the last 3 years, you've heard my disdain's too strong of a word, but slight displeasure with Anthony Davis, whether it's availability, lack thereof availability, or just what I think is untapped, unfulfilled potential from what we thought he was gonna be. To have them both in Chocolate City at one time, it's a move where, although I understand why the team did it, I'm gonna have to see a lot of it before I can be excited about it.
Mm.
Now, give the Wizards credit. They traded much of nothing to bring these two players in. They had the cap space to do it. And they're taking a chance on, hey, two players that want to rehabilitate their value, that at their best, right, are top 30 players in the league on a team that maybe had one top 100 player in the league, that arena is empty on most nights unless the other team brings a crowd in. I get why they did it. When you bring in Trey Young and Anthony Davis, if they're healthy and motivated, this team should be a playoff team next year. I say that with a question mark, but I think that's true. Should be a playoff team next year. But what we've seen from both of those two players, there's a lot of variables on if they will be both healthy and motivated.
I'll s- I'll say this, Ev. I'm actually rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Everybody has given Washington kind of the moniker of where careers go to sunset, right? Where career goes to end, similar to what Sacramento is on the West Coast, right? And I'm rooting for you because I think that both these players still have a lot left in the tank. And I think and hope that they care enough about their careers to make the best of this situation and really get the Wizards. I'm going to say it here. I'll put it on wax, Ev. Washington will be a playoff team next season. Calling it. I'm calling it. There will be a playoff team. There'll be a 7-8 team, and they're gonna make the playoffs. That I'm calling it. I'm calling it.
I feel like
I,
this is a
I'm
therapy
with you,
group and
man.
you're trying to give me motivation.
Listen, man, I got you. No, because
Hang in there, Evan. Don't jump.
No, because think about it. Think about it. Think about it this way. And I love the psychological part of the game, right? AD feeling burned about being traded in the darkness of night to Dallas, right? He won them a chip with LeBron. He's cool with LeBron. He thought he had it locked in, right? He had a TV show coming out on the network. He was inundated, right? That prank TV show that didn't last long. Um, just like his career in LA. Just
Yo,
just gone. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, right? He ships off to Dallas, and now he has to prove them. Dallas falls apart. Kyrie gets injured. Cooper Flack comes in. It's not working out. Debacle. Now you get traded to quote unquote where careers go to die. You got to fight back, homie. You got to fight back.
not just that. Also, apparently he wasn't happy about being traded there. So it's another layer to it.
Man.
Well, the part that you glossed over, the part that gives me concern. He had a year, literally a calendar year, to prove himself in Dallas. Though he got 29 games, and what he's consistent for doing is getting hurt. So that's what gives me pause. Oh, this is when we're gonna see something different. Got it. Okay. I'm hopeful.
Got you. Listen, man, I'm rooting for you, man.
Not something
Defend
different,
your
but
boy, Five Mamba.
at
Come on.
least he's gonna come back and give it his all to you guys. And I don't agree with Hans. I think the Wizards will be a top 6 team in the East next year.
So no play in.
Nope.
Okay.
Not if everything goes right. That's saying a
I go
lot,
for-
but
It's a lot of wishful thinking there.
well, I
I
mean,
go
the
7 or
Wizards could
8.
easily get a top 5 pick in the draft this year. So I mean, if they're able to do that, then they could get another cornerstone player on their team with Trey and AD, with Alex Sarr. Even though he says the NBA game is very fast for him, I don't know if that bodes well for his future. Him saying that, but they have George on the team. I mean, they have good young players, so they
You do have
could have a shot at top 6. I really don't see the East being that great next year, with all these players moving around.
Top
I mean,
6, Christian.
Hornets and Wizards
5.
top 6 teams in the East.
Hornets, I could agree with. Wizards, I don't know. But I mean, just like this section as well.
Currently, top 6 teams in the East: Detroit, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, Raptors, Sixers.
I think
Yeah,
the Raptors take a step back, and I think the Sixers take a step back.
Sure, the Sixers, yeah.
The Raptors?
I don't know about the Raptors. I can't agree with you on that, but for sure the Sixers.
Okay. All right. We shall see. We shall see. All right, Lou, it's all you.
You know, I have to
Who's
give
playing for the
this
future.
Yeah, I got to give it to them. You know, after a solid run at the championship, last year, Indiana made a good move in picking up Zubac. You lose Miles Turner, but honestly, you upgrade in picking up Zubac. You get a player that's comparable in terms of size and so on, and give you the presence in the post, but somebody with the better offensive prowess than Miles Turner. Not necessarily a rim protector in the same sense, but you may not need that because of the dynamics of the team. So I think that they put themselves in a position by picking up that piece. When Hallie gets back, it's going to be a great complementary player to have on that team. So I think Indiana they're playing. What they've done is kind of start to set up their self for the longer game. Now, am I saying that it's going to be some they're picking up Zubac for the next player that they expected to have for the next 5 to 10 years? Not necessarily, because he's already getting up there in terms of being 28, but he's young enough that he can have a formidable career there, still playing with Hallie along the other pieces that they have. Losing Mathurin does hurt it a bit. I mean, they did give up a good amount in terms of what they were giving for the pieces that they got, but I think it's a good move for Indiana.
I like Zubac. I thought he was really solid on the Clippers, and I don't understand what the Clippers are doing. And I hate to turn this about the Clippers, but don't understand why they let go of him. But I guess they're building for the future as well. But I question Indiana. And this is maybe still the hateration in me. Shout out to Mary. I think that run was fool's gold, man. I think that
Last
run was
year's?
yeah, I think last year's run was fool's gold, bro. I feel like Hallie got a couple
Sure.
good shots up, man. If those
Yeah.
shots go different, right? Like I think it changes the whole thing. But right, if
That's the
but
game.
that's the game, right? That's the game that we play. I I'm not here to say that, and if Ev would stop correcting me on this man's last name like it matters. Um, I'm
Zubats.
not I'm not here to say Zoo, whatever we want to call him, is
Big
going to
Zoo.
be is gonna be there. That's what they call the Big Zoo. It's gonna be the difference maker, right? They're definitely waiting on Halliburton, but with Halliburton, Big Zoo, um, what's the point guard?
Siakam, Nemhart.
Yeah.
Nemhart.
Yeah.
Nemhart, I see them being a competitive team, but I don't see them being top with your Detroit, your Celtics, your Knicks. You get what I'm saying? I see with Hallie coming back, they're right back in the. I hate to say this because it's so cliche. 6'7". I hate to say. I hate to say it nowadays, man. These kids, man, they're
Ah,
ruining.
Do the
They're
hands,
ruining.
man. Do the hands.
I gotta do. I
yeah.
gotta. I'm not doing the hands. I'm not
Do
doing
it.
it.
Do it with your shoulder.
Come on, come on. Let's see
Freaking
it.
6'7",
There
man.
you go. There you
Oh,
go.
Peer pressure, peer pressure. So if to me, they're more fitting Purgatory than planning for the future. But I see where
really?
you're coming from, though.
That's interesting.
Well,
That's interesting.
yeah, because I mean, you know, you make 2 runs in 2 years. I mean, conference finals 1 year, NBA finals the
It's
next
nice.
year, right? Then you fall off. They keep their top 4 pick. You throwing in a premier player in the mix with what we just named. Still got a great coach. I mean, I don't want anything good to happen to the people of Indiana basketball, but outside of that, I can objectively look at them and say, hey, this is the way you do a gap year, right?
Yeah.
Even down to the point of getting, they didn't know. I'm not going to get into the conspiracy theories. They didn't know Halliburton was going to get hurt, but the foresight to get your pick back before your gap year started. I mean, they've played this as perfectly as possible for
Oh,
this year to go. So
I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that. I just don't think it moves the needle as far as competitive edge for me.
That's
So, but
interesting.
no, as far as moves to sustain and not go backwards, I don't think they went
Mhm.
backwards. So I 100% agree with you there. No, if you're going to lose your franchise player, right, and you arguably lose a pivotal piece, which Miles Turner was. Let's just be real, right? You still have Pascal, you still have Nemhart, so you retain those two pieces. No, you're right. As masterclass in how not to move backwards. Same thing I would say on par with the Celtics, right? How not to move backwards when you lose,
Your mark.
a franchise player. But I can honestly say though, I think the Celtics have gotten better than the Pacers have in terms
The
of moves
margin.
that they made.
I think the
That's
margin
what
of
I would argue.
yeah, the Celtics got better, but Celtics it was just already kind of not fair, right? He kind of just got a cherry on top. I think getting this piece and all the other pieces that Jay Huff, I think Jay Huff is such a great player for Indiana right now, right? And as he continues to grow with the team, we can't forget about what TJ McConnell meant for that team, and so I think when they have teams at full strength, they would definitely. I could see them again being better than where the Sixers are going, their trajectory, and I think they can compete with Toronto as well.
Yeah, I'll say this. They should have teams like the Sixers worried. Those bottom teams in the 5-6 area, those are the teams that should be worried. Orlando should be worried. 76ers should be worried. Miami, but we didn't talk about them because they didn't do anything during this trade deadline. So they're definitely in purgatory.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's who should be worried, and maybe Charlotte. So we'll definitely see what happens there. But guys, that's all we got for today. thank you for joining us as always. Let us know. Hit us up on social media. What do you think? Which teams did we leave out of each section? The Purgatory, Planning for the Future, and the playoff teams. Let us know what you think. Hit us up on our social media. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, give us a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you can keep up with us every week. Be sure to follow us on all our socials at the 3on3 Podcast. Hey, got a question, topic you want us to talk about? Hit us up on our email at 3on3podcast@gmail.com. We appreciate y'all. Tune in next week.